if you're going through something, it's not woe is me, it's why is me,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Why am I going through this, right?
Why
And
did I create
yeah,
this? Let's think about
exactly,
going through it is why did I create it? You know, whether you're going through it or not going through it or running away from it is why did I create this? And that's the power. And it's really hard for victims to believe that they are creating their reality. They are creating it. It's just it doesn't matter what side of the fence, where you're the poor me as victim and everyone's, empathize with you, or you're the perpetrator, the victimizer. It doesn't matter. It's you have yourself created this play. You have created it. And to me, that's the beauty in it. If you can look at the play and say, what's it trying to show me about me? It's a mirror. What is it showing me about me? What is it that's mirroring in me? And then once you get that, bingo, it can change if
what
you
are some of
want.
the yeah, what are some of the steps that we can take to identify that and proceed with the change?
I think the first one is accountability and responsibility. That's a big
Oh
step.
my goodness, those are two words, Melanie. You, whew, whew.
That's what it comes down to is I'm responsible for creating this and I'm going to be accountable to it. And so therefore I'm going to understand it, learn about it, and I'm going to change it. That's it. It's so simple. It's such a simple, like a mathematical equation of 1 plus 1 is 2. It's so simple. But for many, I don't want to be responsible. It's going back into the victim, but it's a powerless place of being a victim.
I wonder
It
how
is
many
your life,
people,
you
yeah, I
know.
wonder how many people come out of that situation when maybe it's much later than they should. And I'll give you an example. Someone once shared with me that they were they were doing things that maybe weren't in their best interest, but because they were young enough, they said, okay, you know what, I have enough time to correct the behavior, or at least maybe minimize the impact that it has to my life and the life of others. So this is when they're 20s, right? So it
Yeah.
went on in their 20s, and then they're trying to navigate in their 30s and their 40s and their 50s. And then now they realize all these years later, like, oh crap, what I did in my 20s, I'm starting to realize how it impacts me, my relationship now, almost 30 years later. So now you have a situation where all this time has passed where you've kind of neglected it, but in an arrogant way, you said that I have time to fix it. But now you're starting to feel the pinch. You're like, okay, can I actually fix this? Because so much time has gone on and I've been living this way for so long.
Yes, you can. Bottom line, yes, you can. You can do a U-turn as fast as you decide. You can. That's just another justifiable victim excuse is time. I'm at the mercy of time. I'm at the mercy of past. I am a victim of this. There's no such thing. You can do a U-turn immediately. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and the old saying is like victim of the stories, it's too late, instead of the one that's never too late, like it's too much time has passed. You're a victim of that belief system. Like, come on. No, you're not. You can turn around right now, today, this moment, this second, and then ask yourself, why aren't you? Well, oh, it's going to take time. It's going to take
It's
work. Bottom line
hard.
is you don't really want to. Come on, whatever excuse justifies, and then you blame it on the excuse. It's not my fault. It's time. It's not my fault. I'm old. It's not my fault.
I said
Something
that to
else.
someone and I thought they're going to blow up my car. I honestly said that. I was like, you simply don't want to change. But I'm like, to me, there is only two options,
Yeah.
right? Everything else ties up to it. Either you want to do it or you don't want to do it. Like,
Or
well,
how?
I'm tired. I came home. I worked 10 hours. My kids. I'm like, you don't want to do it. Because here's the thing. If it was, so I'll share a story with, and to the men out there, you're probably going to hate me for this. So one of my friends, he was like, Terrain, the women don't respect me. They don't want to date me. They always ask me what I'm doing, the job I have, so on and so forth. was okay. So tell them what it is. Tell them you work wherever X, right? And then he's like, well, sometimes they don't want to continue further because of this information. So you know what he started to do? He started to lie and make up these dream titles. So I told him, wouldn't it be easier to just get the type of job that you think would get you the outcome in life that you want? He was like, oh, I got to do this. I got to do that. I was like, you don't want to do it. You rather complain because you're complaining for free. I was like, if I charged you for your complaints, you stop complaining,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. That's so true. And I'll just make an add-on is the part of whether you want to or you don't want to. Let's just cut it down further. You either do or you don't. Because it's not about whether you want to. I'm sure I know for myself there is things that I needed to do even though I didn't want to do it. But I knew it's what I had to do. So it's got nothing to do whether you want to or you don't want to. To me, it's another justifiable victim. It's at the mercy of my wants or my not wants. You know, so we got to raise it up a bit. Either we do or we don't. I mean, if we could drop all the other stuff that we're hanging on to that determine where we move in our life, how we create our reality, so let go of whether I want to or I don't want to. You either do or you don't. It gets, I'm really being really down to the fine line, like it's come on. There's things that you don't want to do, but you got to do it. Okay. So let that one go. Don't be a victim of your wants and your desires or your procrastinations or your whatever. Don't be a victim. There's a higher intelligence in every single one of us that is bigger and better than victim mentality. Okay, that higher wisdom intelligence. Okay, that knows. And that's the part that has to direct your life out of the victim mentality and out of change. And in order to change your life, is going into that higher wisdom that knows. And I don't know of anyone that doesn't have that higher wisdom, because if they didn't have that higher wisdom, they wouldn't be sitting there complaining. Instead, they would be in joy and really living their life and really happy. Okay. So that higher wisdom is always there. Okay. Saying, and we're just like, it's not my fault. I don't really want to. And we get lost back in that whole thing again. So that intelligence, there is an intelligence which is above all of this stuff. And if we could listen to that and let it be our guide, absolutely. Instead, we listen to our wants, our desires, our emotions, our fears, everything else. We're a victim of it all.